Welcome back to my YouTube channel, boys. Today we're talking about what nobody talks about in deer hunting. So really just the real stuff nobody talks about, but we all experience. So we have eight different things that we're going to talk about today, and stay tuned because some of them are pretty good, and even an experienced hunter should know this stuff. Let's get to it. 90% of our deer hunts are sitting, and it's just cold, you're stiff, and you're questioning your life decisions, basically. And deer movement is coming when you least expect it. You probably think right after sunrise, oh, I'm going to see deer. But no, sometimes it happens at 2, 3 in the afternoon. I've even had it where I had just left my stand this past year, and my target buck walks out right where I was sitting. And he walked out at noon. I walked out of the stand at like 11:15. So you just never know when they're going to be coming around. I would not recommend sitting all day. It's not fun. But I would recommend, especially during the rut, sticking to your same area, maybe sticking to a different stand in the evening, but staying out there most of the day. Whitetails live and die by their nose. That's what they're known for. They have a great sense of smell. And once whirl wind, the hunt's over. If they even get a little whiff of you and they see you move a little bit, they're going to snort, and that's going to ruin your hunt. We'll talk about that later in a different video on if snorting is actually something that will ruin your hunt completely, or if you should still go out to your stand. Scent control is never perfect. So even though I like to use a lot of scent control, I'm very religious about that. It's never going to be perfect. You're always going to have a little spot that you miss, or it's just going to come off a little bit and they're going to smell you downwind. So it's never perfect, but it's a good helper. Buck fever is real. I've felt it many different times, and even after a small doe and you know you're going to try and shoot it, you still get a little shaky hands and a racing heart, and that's basically just buck fever. And your heart's pumping a lot, and it's just the greatest feeling, but it's the most scariest feeling at the same time, because you'll replay missed shots in your head for weeks, even months, even years. But yeah, that's just something to remember, to even though you have buck fever, just to stay calm. It really does help. If you shoot a deer, even a small deer, dragging it out of the woods is brutal, especially when you got a 200-pound mule deer and you still have to drag it uphill on a mountain to your quad that's maybe 20, 30 yards away. It's still a lot of hauling, and it sucks, basically. I'm not going to lie. I had to do that once, and it was definitely worth it in the end for that buck, but it definitely takes a lot of it out of you. So, and also processing takes time. Like if you're bringing it to the processor, not recommend, but some people do. I understand. But processing the meat and just skinning it and all these things, it takes a lot of time. Especially if you want to get it mounted, that takes up to like a year. It takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of money to get even just a shoulder mount or something. You also have early mornings and late nights. Those equal exhaustion. You're getting up at like 5 in the morning, depending on when daylight is, and when, even at night, you're staying up a little bit later than you probably might want to if it's earlier in the spring. If it's earlier in the fall. So it can be a lot on your body. A lot of people joke about telling their wife that they're only going to spend a certain amount, and then they actually spend a lot more. But the thing is, that's true. It really does get expensive quite quickly. Gear, tags, camo, tree stands, land access, it adds up a lot. But I would recommend going door knocking and trying to get it for free. Now, I would not recommend just going and say like, hey, I want to do this for free. Just ask them for an offer. If they're totally fine with doing it for free, perfect, take that. It's just another couple acres of property that you have access to that you don't know about. Just set up a trail cam, might help you out. Public land pressure is intense. You have no idea how many people hunt public land. If you're going to want to get in there, you're going to want to get in there early, and also just take your stand into the woods with you. Otherwise, you might find somebody's already using your stand, or somebody stole it if you don't have a lock on it. But yeah, private land, buying it, or even just leasing private land, it gets quite expensive very easily. So if you have a little bit of land already, if you're starting out, just hunt that. It's way easier. I mean, I've been tracking a couple deer for a couple years, and they've gotten big over time, but it takes a lot to just pattern them and find out where they're going to be at what time. And because they're big bucks, they have a lot of knowledge over the past couple years, and so they are very smart. They rarely come out during the day. Even in the rut, it's hard to find them. They're probably going to a different area, and they also can track you down a lot easier and a lot faster. So before you can even get a shot off, they might have already spotted you and you're done. They're not coming back there for a while. That's for a different episode. If you guys want an episode on how to kill the big bucks, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll work on that over the next couple weeks. Also, patience matters more than luck. You need a lot of patience when you're hunting, especially if you think you might want to do an all day. Those take a lot of patience to just sit there. And me having ADD, it's really hard. If you're not sleeping, it's really hard. Like I said, mature bucks are very smart, and so you make one wrong move and they will know. Some, like, not as mature deer, like 1 and 2 year olds, you might be able to get away with it, but with a 5 or 6 year old buck, you're not going to. They're going to notice you. And then trail cam pics don't guarantee daylight sightings. Like, you may think that, and also with trail cameras, they don't catch every single picture. I've noticed a lot where they will miss plenty of deer that come through. I've had it where I'm sitting in front of my trail camera, a deer walks past it, and I never get a picture of it, even though it was like 10 feet in front of the camera. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, trail camera pics are not something to rely on. They're just an easy tool to have and a nice one to have, but don't rely on them to get all your pictures. This past year, I didn't kill any bucks, but I still had a great time. Here's a couple of videos on some sunrises I saw.
When the days all golden, the cards all folding, the saints we see are made of gold. When your dreams are failing, the ones we ate out of worry for, and the blood runs steady.
And then also, here's a couple from when I was in Colorado. Super nice sunrises and sunsets, beautiful land that you get to watch and look at. And sunrises in November, they're very hard to beat. With all the leaves falling and all that, and just seeing a couple deer maybe out in the horizon or something. It's just really cool to be out in God's creation, and I would recommend it to anybody. Also, if you're a dad or a mom or something, or even a grandpa or something, spending time with family out in the woods is definitely a key to life. Teaching your grandkids, your kids, how to hunt and how to respect nature and learning woodsmanship is definitely something that we should all take into consideration. It's just nice to have, and I would recommend it. I would take anybody out into the woods. I don't care who they are. I want them to enjoy that time. And also respecting the animal. If you've already killed it, don't just go out and torture the animal and shoot it a couple more times. You gotta learn how to respect what you're killing. Being out in the woods is now all about AK-47s and pew, 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 just shooting everything you see. Yeah. No, you want to take a good shot, a good clean shot, not a gut shot, a good clean shot into their heart or their lungs or one of their vital organs. Killing deer and hunting is not something bad, as all these liberals say. It's something that teaches a lot of people something that they should really know. You only see the grip and grins. Nobody posts about the empty sits. I sat maybe 30 times this year, and I saw a total of 20 deer. Half of those were in the same sit. So it's a lot of just patience and just sitting there. I've definitely had it a couple times where I'm pissed off and I just want to stop hunting and quit. But I keep going because I've seen a lot of stuff out there. And once I make this video on my buck that I shot out in Colorado, you guys will really see how God has helped me. And hunting has really helped me come closer to God. I'm just going to be honest. It has really helped a lot. Almost every single time I pray for something, God always gives it to me. I know even in this past year, I had about 10 or 15 sits straight of not seeing a single deer. And I was pretty upset and very disappointed. And so I asked God just for me to at least see something. And I'm not kidding you. I was about to get down. I was actually packing my bag to get down from the stand, and this is about 20 minutes later, and I see a buck come right below my stand. Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't shoot it because it was a little bit small, but it definitely helped me be more thankful to God and just almost like proof that he's there. All we just need is faith, but it definitely was really cool to see that. And also on social media, comparison kills joy. So if you're watching like Seek One or Be Real, a lot of these guys shoot the biggest bucks, but you don't always see what the behind the scenes are. I mean, this is their full-time job, so you don't see what they have to do to create all this. But all you see is just a picture with a big old buck with a nice rack. It's not all about that. It's about the hunt. It's about the patience, about the time that you spend out there. So it really is worth it in the end. So overall, in the end, it's worth it. Spending time with God and his creation is always worth being able to just be out there with God and his creation and just enjoying it. It's not always about killing something. And also quietness away from our busy lives. I can't tell you how de-stressed I have gotten when I've been sitting in the woods. Like, I go all summer, all spring, just busyness of working and school and stuff. But you go out and sit in the woods and you finally get to relax is very nice. Doing past traditions that our ancestors loved and teaching it to future generations. So this is something that we have all learned from our ancestors and from something that you've actually had to use to put food on the table. And now we are teaching this great sport to our children and to future generations. I'm teaching you guys right now. How cool is that? It also teaches discipline and patience. Like I always say, you need discipline to be able to sit there, not on a video game or something, listening something. I can attest that I have been out there just listening to something and playing Retro Bowl. It's the easiest game to play when I'm out there. But I've also taken some moments of just sitting out there, nothing on me. In fact, I've been half tempted to just leave my phone at home. It just teaches you a lot of good stuff, and just being out there really has brought me personally closer to God, and I hope it does to you too as well. And also teaches you a lot of patience. Like I said, I went out on 30 hunts this year and I did not see a single thing. So it teaches you I didn't kill a single thing. Yeah, I've seen a couple, but I didn't kill a lot. So it really opens your eyes and teaches you a lot of good skills that everybody should know. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you learned something, and I hope you enjoyed this long video. Please subscribe and like if you want. It really means a lot to me, especially with being a small channel, that you guys subscribe whenever you see my video. So it just really helps grow the channel and for other people to be able to see my content. And I will keep on posting a lot of more informative videos, but once it warms up, I will be able to go out in the woods and start doing a lot more stuff for you guys. So I appreciate you guys sticking to the end. It means a lot to me. And comment down below if you want to see something. So thank you guys and have a good day. Peace. Yeah.